Drew Deguchi. I'm a current senior at the University of Washington.
Hi, I'm David Fukuhara.
I'm Kyle Fukuhara, David's son.
My name is Danielle Hirano. I am on my mom's side, I'm a fourth generation Japanese American.
My name is Sam Mitsui and I'm a Nisei, second generation Japanese American. And my parents were called Issei, the first generation of immigrants from Japan.
So my grandpa, Tommy Deguchi, he was a veteran, and my grandma Jean, she's also really connected in the Japanese community, and she's done a lot for the community, as well as my dad. They've both given a lot of their time and resources, so that's really inspiring of them for me.
Understanding Japanese American history and the incarceration is very helpful in understanding what is going on with our current immigration policies, especially with migrants at our southern border and then migrants from predominantly Muslim countries. I did a case study on for my senior thesis in college about Trump's Muslim ban and Japanese American incarceration. But I think it's a very important moment in history that ties back to a lot of the things that we are experiencing now with racism, xenophobia, immigration policy. And I felt like it was a very wonderful thing to learn about my family's history and be able to contextualize it and what we're experiencing today.
The title of my talk is Good Things Grow from Horse Manure. I'm here today to tell you about being placed in an American concentration camp after Pearl Harbor, and to honor my best friend PFC Tom Haji and the Niseis that served in the segregated 100th Battalion 442nd Regimental Combat Team and the Secret Military Intelligence Service during World War II.
I grew up in the Central District, and when I went to Franklin, that's when I met more of the Japanese community out there. But I was always involved through the NVC.
Like, I met a lot of my friends actually that I met. They lived on like the east side, actually, like Bellevue and stuff, and I would never really interact with them otherwise, you know. So I always thought NVC, it was cool that NVC kind of brought like a lot of Asian people from Seattle, Renton, you know, but then also brought in people from like Bellevue, Interlake, Issaquah even. And yeah, it was just people that I never would have hung out with otherwise, really.
The NVC Hall was the Japanese community center as far as I was concerned. Yeah, because it brought people from all different areas. And the gym was home to so many organizations, from basketball, kendo, dancing, music, and so anyways, it was and taiko. So it was really the center of many activities in the community.
But I think I learned a lot more about my own family history through research, which was definitely eye-opening and really important that I was able to learn about that and understand that.
I think the one memory that sticks with me most is, you know, how the commanders had everybody took turns and it came around, and finally it was his turn to be the commander. And he had been retired by then, so he had a lot of time. And it's called the Nisei Vets Memorial Hall, and the vets really dedicated everything toward those who didn't come back from the war. And I remember him saying that, we all honor these people, but nobody knows who they are. And so he put together a group of people, and they worked on a project to get pictures, take photos of every one of the veterans that were killed in action. And then they had to research a bio for each one of them. And I know it was a lot of work just to research all of that, because these people had basically, they died during the war, World War II. But they pulled it together, and that exhibit is still at the NVC Hall today.
Before I start my speech, I would like to share a dream that we had on October 16, 1998, when I was first vice under Commander Joe Kamikawa. We had a meeting with members of the NVC, Women's Auxiliary, and Sansei to discuss the future direction of our organization due to the increasing difficulty to fill elected positions due to the aging and passing of the Nisei veterans and the Sanseis. And the Sanseis were considering disbanding due to their work and family commitments. After much soul searching and discussions, a preliminary agreement was made to rewrite our constitution and bylaws to implement the associate membership category so that non-veterans would be able to vote and hold office and infuse new life in continuing the legacy of the Nisei veterans. We had a dream that one day we would be able to meet as a family, husbands, wives, and children, all working together to continue the legacy of the Nisei veterans of World War II and honoring the Korean, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, and peacetime veterans. After 2 changes to the Constitution and bylaws, your presence here today is making that dream come true.
Yeah, so when I applied to college, was applying to various scholarships around the city, and NVC actually was one of the scholarships I applied for, and I got it, thankfully. So it definitely helped out with my tuition, and for a place like NVC to exist, and for them to have these kind of monuments like the wall and that, the pictures of the heroes killed in action, it's important to kind of look back and just see what they've done, and like you said, how their sacrifice has been able to give us opportunity today. And I mean, more so for me, like NVC has always just represented a gathering place, a place where you can go and be with the community. And so I think that in that sense, it's extremely important for it to always be around.
So the funding that paid for the recent investments in safety and security at the hall were basically put in place by the Nisei. The Niseis have donated so much to the organization. A lot of them passed away and have willed resources to the NVC. And now it's incumbent on the Sansei generation to step up and fund the Nisei vets in the same manner as the Niseis did. And that's part of what we're trying to achieve in the event today.
So I'd say it's important for my generation to give back and donate to the hall, because it's important. One, like I was saying, it's just a great community gathering place, and we should think about the memories that we've made there at the hall, and that we hold dear to our hearts, and we would want to pass those same memories on to our kids. And also it's very important to hear the stories of the Niseis and read about them and learn about them as well. And that's only going to happen if we're able to keep the hall open and and donate.
So hopefully the Sansei members will reach deep and they will support the organization so that we could continue to operate for our community for decades to come.